girl T here, back with the Sunday video. I know you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day because you're tea timers. It is absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is, I am immune to bad thoughts. I am immune to bad thoughts. We only think good thoughts about ourselves because we're tea timers. That's what we do. I wanted to get into it a little bit today in terms of a trend I see with some of the emails that you guys, a lot of the emails that you guys are sending in. It usually will start out with a paragraph kind of introducing yourself and telling me that you're going to tell me about your journey. The second paragraph will tell me a lot of the things that you've manifested outside of your SP, which seems to be the theme for a lot of these emails. And then you'll go into why you think your SP can't be manifested and why you haven't manifested them. And then at the bottom paragraph, you'll usually get into all the techniques and things that you've tried, and then you'll end the email saying that you don't know why you can't manifest your SP or whatever other desire you're going towards. Now, I'm not saying this trend to make fun of you by any means, but I'm just saying, when I tell you guys to reread your emails, it's because a lot of the answers are hidden within your emails. Some of you even call yourselves out and say, I know it's because I cling to the old story so much. So when you are clinging to an old story but expecting new story results, that's not how it works. So if you're affirming these new thoughts, but you are reciting that old story like it's Bible and it's gospel, the old story is going to win because that is your assumption. That is what you really believe is true. And a lot of the times when you're spitting that old story out to friends, to whoever will listen, even to me, you don't realize that that is your solidified thought and belief that you actually have. That's the assumption you have about the way your SP is showing up. Although you're affirming for other things or for things with your SP, that thought is what is being harbored by you. You are reciting it all the time and you're clinging on to it. It's an old story that you're dragging around like a luggage at the airport. Now, the way that we bust through our old stories is by creating new stories and sticking to them. That is when a technique would come in. That's when an affirmation comes in, when we feel like our new story isn't showing the way we want it to, or we script when we feel a little bit low, or we have those inner conversations when we feel like we're missing our SP. Those are gap fillers, and those are ways to put us into the feeling of saturation of the new story, of the feeling of having it already, as opposed to, because you can't see it, you don't believe it. There's a saying in the world that goes, I won't believe it until I see it. In our game, we believe it and then we see it. So you need to wrap your mind around living in the new story to get the new story results, as opposed to, like I said, living in the old story and getting the new story results. It's like, I'll give you an example with myself. I used to struggle with money. And so when I would check my bank account, it would be a trigger for me because I was afraid that I wouldn't have enough money in the bank account to pay my bills. Or when I would swipe my debit card, I would always kind of cringe and hold my chest tight, hoping that it went through because I didn't have a bill that I didn't expect coming out of my bank account and giving me a less balance and getting that, which I think is so mean when you get that, like it doesn't say approved, it's the opposite of approved. When you swipe your card and then it tells you insufficient funds and you're like holding up the lineup and you're so embarrassed, that's the worst feeling in the world. So I've changed all of that, and I have, every time that I swipe my debit card, I'm like, it's so nice I can buy everything I want. I don't even have a worry about it anymore. When I check my bank account, I'm like, every time I check my bank account, it brings me more money the next time I go to check it. Or I do things like, every time I circulate money, I always say every dollar I circulate comes back to me tenfold. Like if I go through a drive-through, I'll say that to myself. I'll be like, every dollar I circulate comes back to me tenfold. And now it's a hardened fact in my mind that money will always come. Money will always be available. I'll always have more than enough. It's the same thing with your SP. If you are affirming that they're constantly contacting you and you're the love of SP's life, but you're checking the phone every 5 minutes and telling yourself, oh my God, they never call me. Oh my God, they hate texting. Oh my God, they hate calling. They're so stubborn. They never call me. Maybe I'll get an Instagram. Oh, they might not even Instagram me. They're so stubborn. That's the thing I hear a lot of people say. They're so stubborn. I have to get them to not be stubborn. You have to live in your new story. So if you're saying SP constantly contacts me, when you look at the phone and logically when you look at the 3D, they haven't called you, that's when you say, oh my God, they're blowing up my phone. Why are they so obsessed with me? Well, who wouldn't be obsessed with me? I am so amazing, magnetic, and magnificent. These are the things we have to do throughout the day, because that's the bulk of our day. That's what's going to get us our manifestation, is living like it's here already in the new story, to get the new story results. So I thought I would just do a quick video to remind you guys, live in the new story to get new story results. Don't stay in the old story hoping for new story results, because it doesn't work that way. Or maybe you can make up an affirmation that you live in the new story constantly no matter what you do. So that's another thing you could do. I can't tell you a limitation, so maybe you could make that an affirmation. No matter what I say, I'm always in my new story. It's your world. Do what you want. Create how you want it to. Just stop repeating that old story. It's not your friend. Anyways, I'm rambling now. I love y'all, but not as much as you should be loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday. Bye.